Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. Near, far, forever you'll be. I think something like that. My heart will go on. Sorry, had to. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Monday morning. I got a good rest over the weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend and you're ready to start your week because I got a good show set up for y'all this morning. All right, we are going to have 3 lead stories today. The first lead story, we're going to talk about Jordan Chiles being stripped of her bronze medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics is what everybody was talking about yesterday. And also I have comments from her sister, and she's claiming that there is some racism involved. Then we're going to continue with Olympics. We're going to talk about the men's and women's basketball team, both securing gold over the weekend. And then we're going to close out lead stories with Kamala Harris calling for a ceasefire in Palestine. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Tyler Perry, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Surprise, surprise, Donald Trump is in the news again, as he is every day. Joe Biden again. Not Joe Biden, Joe Budden. Then we're going to talk about Travis Scott. And then Drizzy Drake, my boy, officially drops 10,000 gigs on DSP. I told you all last week about that, but now it is officially dropped and not just on Instagram and on YouTube. Then after quick news, we're going to jump into question of the day, and then we're going to close out with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Jordan Chiles stripped of her bronze medal. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee shares plan to appeal the ruling. All right, so as previously reported on Saturday, the Court of Arbitration of Sports ruled in favor of 2 Romanian gymnasts after Jordan Chiles' scores for the floor final was challenged. The Romanian committee argued that the inquiry from Team USA coaches that boosted Jordan's score, placed her in 3rd, was made after a 1-minute deadline, causing the court to rule in their favor. On Sunday, the news of Jordan being stripped of her bronze medal became official. According to CNN, the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, said that the medal will be awarded to Romanian gymnast Ana Barascofo. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her last name wrong. The IOC said in a statement, following the CAS decision with regards to women athletic gymnast floor exercise final and the amendment of the ranking by the International Gymnast Federation, the IOC will reallocate the bronze medal to Ana. We were in touch with the NOC of Romania to discuss the reallocation ceremony and with the USOPC regarding the return of the bronze medal. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee also released a statement and shared their plans to appeal the ruling. They said, "We firmly believe that Jordan rightfully earned a bronze medal, and there were critical errors in both the initial scoring by the Olympic Gymnast Federation, the FIG, and the subsequent CAS appeal process that needs to be addressed." They continued, "The initial error occurred in the scoring by the FIG and the second error during the CAS appeal process where the USOPC was not given adequate time or notice to effectively challenge the decision. As a result, we're not properly represented or afforded the opportunity to present our case comprehensively. Given these circumstances, we're committed to pursuing an appeal to help Jordan Chiles receive the recognition she deserves." All right, so there's a lot of alphabet names going on back and forth out there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% clear what's going on. For me, it sounds like, from what I've gathered, it's a timing issue that they have 1 minute to appeal, but they didn't have enough time to gather. So it's a timing issue. And if it's a timing issue, I mean, the rules are the rules. I get that. And if you have 1 minute, you have 1 minute. But apparently there was some issue with the 1 minute, like where the 1 minute starts or not. So this is still very, very fresh. Of course, there's going to be an appeal that's going on, and we'll see. My whole thing is that if it's just a timing thing, it should just really be brought back to the performance and the scoring. And I personally think she should get her bronze medal back. But that's just my initial feeling of it. And like I always say, like, I think we should definitely wait for like the appeal and a little bit more details. Kind of like the Noah Lyles and the Jamaican sprinter, where it was a photo finish. We see his foot crossing, and then technically it's the torso, which I still have a problem with the torso thing because it's not 1960s and it's not a ribbon. If it's done by computers, it should be the any part of your body that crosses, but we're not going to get into that right now. Anyways, I will read to you what Jordan's sister had to say. From what I have been able to find, Jordan hasn't said much. She just said she's actually going to stay off of social media for her mental health. So I think they're kind of maybe speaking through the family right now. But this is what her sister put on Instagram. She said, "Please keep Jordan and my family in your prayers. Racism is real, it exists, and it's alive and well. They have officially 5 days later stripped her of one of her medals. Not because she didn't win, not because she was drugged, not because she stepped out of bounds, not because she wasn't good enough, but because the judges failed to give her difficulty and force an inquiry to be made. 4 seconds. Her bronze was stripped over 4 seconds of time that would have never been needed to happen if the judges did their job. I love my baby sister, and I got your back no matter what." See what I'm saying? It's a matter of seconds. And I know the Olympics is a matter of seconds. There's races and all of that stuff. But this has something to do with the judges making a mistake and the timing being off. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more details that come out of this. If we do, I will definitely talk about it more tomorrow. But for now, please send me your emails, comment below this video, or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. The email is trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. We'll touch on the story again tomorrow. Let me know if you have any more details of this. And of course, let me know what you think. Are you on Jordan's side or are you on the Romanian side? Let me know. This is a very, very hot button issue. I see people talking from both sides. So send me an email and a DM. Let me know what you think. All right, carrying on with more Olympic news. In our second lead story, U.S. women's basketball team win the 8th consecutive gold medal after defeating France. Congratulations to the U.S. women's basketball team who defeated France on Sunday to win their 8th consecutive gold medal with an 87-66 score. This is the team's 10th gold medal overall since the 1984 Olympics. Wow. Okay. I didn't even know what the score was. I missed this. I messed up on Sunday and I missed this game. I'm going to check out the highlights later on, probably after the show. I did watch the men's, which we're going to talk about in a second, but shout out to the women's team. The Olympics tweeted this. They said, okay, no, it's the same thing that I just read to you before. Yeah, so shout out to the women's Olympics. I guess that means that they're even doing better than the men, because the men, I don't think it's 8 consecutive. I think they won bronze. I think it maybe been like 3 or 4 Olympics ago. I'm not too sure. But anyways, shout out to the women. Also, of course, we're going to talk about the men's. The men's U.S. basketball team wins their 5th straight Olympic gold medal after defeating France. Again, like I said, women have a longer winning streak. So the men have won 5 straight. So shout out to the men. Pretty ironic that they both face France. I feel bad for France because they're playing in Paris, France, and both home teams made it to the finals and they lost. And the women by a nail biter, right? By 1 point. But anyways, congratulations are in order to the U.S. men's basketball team who defeated Team France with an 98-87 score. This is the 5th year in a row that they have won the gold medal. All right, I don't know who out there caught that game, but it was so good. Part of me a little bit was going for France to see Webby take home his gold medal. I mean, I know he's only 20 years old, but just it would have been cool. But of course, I had to go for my boys, LeBron, Katie, and Steph. Steph's my favorite player in the league right now. Y'all know that by now. And but it was a great game. I think it was maybe about 2 minutes left or a minute and a half left. And France brought it to within 3 points. I thought it was going to be a close game, but my boy Steph Curry came through. Yo, it was crazy. If you guys haven't seen it, trust me, see the highlights. Steph hit a 3, took them in the lead by 6. They gave Steph the ball again. He hit another 3. Next, hit another 3 on a double team. 3 threes in a row. I think after 2, he maybe hit a 4th 3 in a row. It was crazy. It was lights out. Other than somebody else scoring, I think it may have been Devin Booker. The last 14-point score by Team USA was scored by Steph Curry. He was lights out. Like, it was amazing show. Part of me thinks that LeBron is a little bit upset that he didn't get to hit the game winner or he didn't get to go out. As we all know, this is LeBron James's last Olympics. If I'm not mistaken, it's his 4th gold medal. I definitely know he has 3 because I saw a post somewhere on Instagram that said LeBron James has won a gold medal in 3 different decades, 2008, 2016, and now 2024. So shout out to LeBron. Of course, he would have liked to hit the game winner or been the hero, but nevertheless, he was still awarded MVP. MVP is not just for the final game. I think MVP is for the overall Olympics. And we definitely know that LeBron did a lot to get Team USA to gold. So shout out to both the men and women USA basketball bringing home the gold. Bringing home, I'm Canadian, but like, it's North America, man. We're all one, yo. But anyways, shout out to Team USA, women and men's basketball. All right, in our third and final lead story, Kamala Harris wants ceasefire deal to end Palestine and Israel conflict, tells pro-Palestine protesters in Arizona, now is the time. I respect your voices. All right. Vice President Kamala Harris proudly boasts to pro-Palestine protesters at her rally in Arizona that now is the time for a ceasefire deal to end the conflict in Palestine and Israel. On Friday, August 9th, Kamala Harris hosted a campaign rally in Phoenix, Arizona, where she was interrupted by pro-Palestine protesters who repeatedly shouted out, "Free Palestine, free Palestine." This is the second time this week that she has been interrupted by demonstrators distraught by war in Gaza. On Wednesday, August 4th, VP Harris was interrupted by Gaza protesters at a rally in Detroit, Michigan, where they repeatedly shouted, "Kamala, Kamala, you cannot hide. We won't vote for genocide." At that rally, Harris fired back and she said, "You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking." On Tuesday, August the 2nd, Phil Gord, the vice president for national security advisor, said she does not support any arms embargo on Israel, which is what some protesters have called for. At her Arizona campaign rally, Vice President Kamala Harris addressed the pro-Palestine protesters and agreed that now is the time for a ceasefire deal to end Palestine's conflict in Israel. VP Harris said, "Hold on, here's the thing. We're here together to fight our democracy, which includes respecting the voices that I think we are hearing from." She continued, "I've been clear. Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostages deal done. Now is the time. And the president and I are working around the clock every day to get a ceasefire deal done and bring the hostages home. So I respect your voices, but now we are here to talk about the race in 2024. All right, I have a little clip. Here is Kamala Harris in Arizona.
So let me say, I have been clear. Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostage deal done. And the president and I are working around the clock every day to get that ceasefire deal done and bring the hostages home. So I respect your voices, but we are here to now talk about this race in 2024.
I really like that she finally did this. I know everybody online last week was kind of cheering her on for addressing the protesters the way she did, and she kind of gave them a stare down. She's like, if you want Donald Trump to win, continue talking or blah, blah, you know what I mean? And then she gave them a stare down. And I know people were just applauding the kind of like the shouting back, but I prefer this approach where she's addressing them and she's hearing them and she's saying what she wants to try to do when she becomes president, when and if she becomes president, and what her and Joe Biden are doing now. And then saying, okay, can we get back to the campaign rally? Like, I understand both sides. I mean, she's there to campaign to make sure that democracy wins and to make sure that she wins over Donald Trump. And it's not a talk about the war. So I understand where she's coming from. But if you're running for president and people are protesting, addressing them, saying, listen, I hear what you're saying. We are doing something, and I believe in what you're saying. We're fighting for the same thing, and I'm addressing you now, but can we get back to campaign? I think that's a much better way of handling it. And if you read and listen to things that are online, a lot of the people are a lot happier. So I'm happy that her campaign rallied around her instead of just shushing them up, to at least address them and ask them politely to say, can you stop the protesting now so we can get back to beating, Donald Trump? So shout out to Kamala Harris for that. I definitely like the stance. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Tyler Perry shares photo of his humble beginnings and how he embraced the uncomfortableness. All right, I thought this was really nice just to kind of throw in some inspiration on a Monday morning. Tyler Perry posted, as you know, Tyler Perry is a billionaire and he used to be homeless, but he posted his first apartment after he got off the streets. And in this post, he said, "This is my first apartment after being homeless. I was so happy to have this place. I remember being so happy to have a roof over my head, but also being very anxious and scared that I wasn't going to be able to afford the $425 rent." And if you're on YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube or on Spotify right now and can't see this picture, it's not a nice apartment by any stretch of the imagination. It looks like a very basic kind of low end apartment. He also shows pictures on the inside, and he says, "I remember how the first of every month would be to lay stress on my bed. I was sitting in my twin bed thinking, how would I ever be able to pay the landlord? But I knew that I would always be able to make it. He would come and knock on the door, and I would just freeze and pray that he went away. I was late for the rent every month, and it would make me tear up. But I knew somehow I would get through it." So like I said, just a little words of inspiration for those of you out there who may be having a rough month or a rough year. Tyler Perry was homeless, made it out to basic apartment, and now he's a billionaire. So keep your head up and just know that you too can make it one day. All right, in our second lead story, beach-bound Biden. The president spent the day at the beach in Delaware. President Biden was beach-bound this past weekend in Delaware. He owns a home in the city. The president kicked his feet up and enjoyed the ocean breeze. Secret Service was not too far off, watching out as the president enjoyed his time. Go to YouTube or Spotify right now to see the pictures. Biden is just out here on a lounge chair. And I wanted to throw this story in there because this is what President Biden should be doing. I mean, not now, more in December. I think it's December 24th when the next president will be sworn in, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. But, I'm happy that he is taking some time. This guy's 82 years old. He's obviously not 100%. He should be on a beach enjoying the rest of his days. Shout out to him that he wanted to try to run another 4 years and, give back to, his country. But, Mr. President Joe Biden, you've given literally like 45 years of your life to the country. Stay at the beach, sit down, and kick your feet up. You have made the right decision. All right, in our third quick story, Celine Dion's team says the use of her song "My Heart Will Go On" at Trump's Montana campaign event was unauthorized. There was a Trump campaign in Montana Friday night, and during the event, music played within the venue between the speakers that took the stage. One of the songs that played during the event was Celine Dion's classic hit, "My Heart Will Go On." Y'all know that song. Near, far, forever you'll be. I think something like that. My heart will go on. Sorry, had to. However, her team is making it clear that the use of her song was unauthorized. On Saturday, her management team and record label released a joint statement acknowledging that the song was not approved for use and that Celine Dion does not endorse the matter or any matter similar to it. In other words, Celine Dion and her team said, yo, hold your horses. This is a statement that Celine Dion's team put out. She said, this is the official statement. Today, Celine Dion's management team and her record label, Sony Music Entertainment Canada Incorporated, became aware of an unauthorized use of the video recording musical performance and likeness of Celine Dion singing My Heart Will Go On at a Donald Trump J.D. Vance campaign rally in Montana. In no way is this use authorized, and Celine Dion does not endorse this or anything similar. And they also close up by saying, and really, that song? That's why I sang it earlier. Like, why would you want this at a Trump campaign rally? My heart will go on. Like, what does that have to do with politics? Anyways, as y'all know, Kamala Harris's campaign song is Freedom, Beyonce. And when you play music at a rally, it needs to be approved. Donald Trump, that's why these reports of Donald Trump coming out to 50 cents, many men, it's all not true. Something at this level, you cannot play without somebody else's permission. I think you'll probably have to pay a fine or something like that. I don't think it's anything really that harmful, but you got to be careful out here what songs you're playing, because now people are going to think Celine Dion is endorsing Donald Trump, and it could get messy for her. So obviously the news is going to be a lot louder than the statement. So just wanted to throw it in here in case any of y'all heard this story and thought that Celine Dion was supporting Donald Trump. She's not. All right, this brings us to our fourth quick story. Joe Budden speaks on the issues he had with Kai Cenat's giveaway in NYC's Union Square that ended in chaos. Joe Budden says he doesn't have an issue with Kai Cenat, but explains the issue he had with Kai's giveaway last year in NYC that ended in chaos. All right, Joe was on Lil Yachty's podcast, and this is what Joe had to say. Take a listen.
What's your issue with Kai? Because Kai's my brother.
I don't have an issue with Kai.
Help us out, Keanu. Where is this coming from?
Yeah, I can tell you where it comes from. Like, you don't even have to go to your producer. That stunt he pulled on 14th Street in Union Square. Mm-hmm. That's where it started for me.
Was that when he was giving away the PlayStations? Yes.
Yeah. On a Friday on 14th Street, Union Square, New York City. Yes. I had a big issue with that as a New Yorker.
Oh, you sound like a hating ass.
Also,
you sound like an uncle, too.
Yeah,
you sound like you was stuck in traffic that day. Like,
I know a lot of people that got jammed up that day. And I spoke to them on the phone. I know, but PS5, let's play a game. Have fun and get a PlayStation. Do not disrupt the normal functionality of the street, a tourist attraction in New York City. Sorry, buddy. No, you can't do it. You can't do it.
I don't understand why Joe would have an issue with that. Like, what? Some of his friends got caught up in traffic that day. Like, give me a break, Joe. We have other more important things to talk about. Joe Budden and Lil Yachty on a podcast together. I think the whole conversation would have been about Drake and Kendrick. I haven't watched it, but this is the clips that are coming out of it. Like, I think people just like putting Kai's name into things because it gets more viral and it gets more comments, but this is just crazy to me. If anybody has watched this podcast and there's anything about Drake and Kendrick that's juicy, please send it to me. Let me know. Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. Comment below. Send me a DM at trentoutloud. All right, in our fifth quick story, Travis Scott released from police custody in Paris with no charges. It looks like Travis Scott has finally been released after getting arrested in Paris on Friday after an altercation inside George V Hotel. According to AP News, the Paris prosecution office said in a statement on Saturday, the police custody order for Travis Scott has been lifted and all proceedings against him were terminated because the incident was minor. As previously reported, Travis was arrested after he got into an altercation with the hotel security who intervened in an altercation that reportedly took place between Travis and his bodyguard. Prior to the incident, Travis was spotted attending the men's basketball semifinals at the Olympics. I posted this on my Instagram Friday, and it literally went crazy. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, da, da, da. But I think it's also too because they released the body cam footage of Travis being arrested in June, and they released that Thursday night. I posted that. People saw it, whatever. And then Friday, we got video of him being arrested in Paris. So I think why everybody was making such a big deal is that within the span of 24 hours, we saw footage of Travis Scott getting arrested. But what a lot of people, I think, are misunderstanding is the Thursday night one was an arrest from June that we just got the body cam footage on last Thursday night, and then the Paris one. Also, the Paris one also went viral too because it looked like the Paris police were being very aggressive with him. And I'm happy that there's no charges being laid because he got into a little altercation with his bodyguard. I mean, his bodyguard ultimately, 95% of the time, it's their friends or people who they know, or if not, it's somebody who they're close with. So them getting into like a little altercation, I don't know why you'd have to arrest them for that. And like I said, if you want to see how the arrest went down, go to my Instagram page at Trent Out Loud. They were roughing him up, holding him, like dragging him to the car. They're making such a big deal of it. Like, anyways, it's just ridiculous how these police get sometimes. But I'm happy to hear ultimately there's no charges being laid because it really wasn't that much of a big deal. I have said that since, this came out on Friday. So happy to hear this report. All right, in our sixth and final quick story, my boy Drizzy Drake. Drake has officially released 100 gigs on DSP streaming platforms. Drake has officially dropped 100 gigs via streaming services. Early this week, the singles were teased from the Plot Twist Instagram account, which is speculated to be a Finsta account from the rapper. And we all know that this was eventually probably going to happen. I heard that his record label, Universal Music, was like, "What are you doing, giving away free music, man?" But anyways, we talked about this on last week's pod. I'm not really crazy, to be honest with you, over these three songs. The Young Thug and 21 Savage one, I think it's up. That one's pretty good. There's another one that's decent. The other Lotto one was all right too. The Super Soak with Yachty that cannot be released because the sample wasn't cleared. That's the song we want, But like I said last week, this is Drake just putting feelers out, getting the haters, to comment, oh yeah, this is crap. This doesn't feel right. Oh my gosh, blah blah blah, allegations. This is a strategy from Drake. I'm sure that's why he was happy to just give it away free. But Universal probably intervened and was like, yo, just at least put it up on DSPs. They're going to make a little bit of money off of it. But I still feel like the Party Next Door album will be also to some all right kind of mid music. And then everybody will finish out 2024 with all of the Drake, blah, blah, blah. And then next year, February, March, early spring, Drake's going to come with a classic album that will be undeniable, and the world will be back to normal, and Drake will be back on top and not having so much hate. Let me know what you guys think of the three Drake songs. Let me know what you think about 100 gigs on your head top. And send me a DM at Trent Out Loud, comment below, or send me an email, trentOutloud@cfqr600.com. All right, we've made it to my favorite segment of the day, a favorite segment of the show, actually. Question of the day. What's the female version of Where My Hug At? All right, so men always say, yo, where my hug at? So women's alternative to that is, so you can't say hi no more. I've heard that a couple of times. All right, a woman here gave her top 10. So you think you cute because you got a little haircut? So you ain't gonna speak? Oh, so we're gonna fight? No, he acting funny. So you're just gonna see me standing right here? I saw you out with your little friends. Excuse me, sir. Y'all gonna act like you don't see me? Hey, big head. Oh, so we beefing. All right, I hope I did justice. That's my female version of acting it out. Bonnie Godiva said, I don't even say that. I just keep silence because I would never even make a comment to get attention. All right, miss. Oh my gosh, I'm better than everybody else. Megan James said, oh, so we ain't going to speak. Amanda James said, so you don't just see me standing right here? Okay, those two were given by the girls' top 10 already. Let me find some different ones. So we're going to fight. I see we a little friend. Sir, we got that one. I should have run that top 10 one because I think she just gave all the other ones. Somebody said, Miss Body James said, hey, stranger, or, oh, so we can't speak? That's cute. Makeup Madness Cherry said, oh, so now you don't know nobody? And then another thing she said is, oh, so you're acting brand new now. I've gotten that where a couple of girls say, oh, you want to act brand new now? I got that one. Let's see some other ones here. All right, so you're going to be acting funny. Okay, Super Scent left 5 of them. Oh, so that's what we're doing right now? Somebody else said, must be nice. We must not be friends no more. Oh, so now we're going to fight. These are cute. And for those of you who are confused, it's like, when a girl is walking by, it's like, hey, yo, where my hug at? Just trying to just get her attention. This is the female's version of trying to get a guy's attention. All right. Oh, damn, we can't speak. Oh, you're going to just act like you don't know nobody. Ashley said, oh, so you're going to just act like that. I've already read that already. All right. I really had a big setup for this question of the day. Yeah, my favorite segment. It was just like, womp. Wow, sorry, my phone just rang. Womp, womp, womp. All right, that was not a great question of the day. I will get to you guys tomorrow with a better one, I promise. All right, this brings us to sports news. You guessed it. We're going to talk about the Olympics. Team USA closes out the Olympics with the most medals won. Team USA finished first place for total medals at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. The USA went into the final day of the Olympic Games, 1 gold medal behind China, but they were able to tie them after first place finish from the women's basketball teams. They ended with 126 total medals and 40 gold medals. Wow, I know they would have been mad if China got more gold medals than them. I'm sure they're mad at the fact that they even tied China. But anyway, shout out to the U.S. for the most Olympic gold. Sorry, I keep on saying the most Olympic gold medals. The most medals in the Olympics with 126. All right, I'll run down these medals for you guys quickly. Canada made it to the top 12, which would be in the top 10. But all right, I'll read them out quickly. So the U.S. had 40 golds, 44 silver, 42 bronze. China, 40 golds, 27 silver, 24 bronze. Japan, 20 gold, 12 silver, 13 bronze. Australia, 18 gold, 19 silver, 16 bronze. France, 16 gold, 26 silver, 26 bronze. Sorry, I'll say totals for a total of 64. China's total was 91. Japan's total was 45. Australia's total was 53. Netherlands, 15 gold, 7 silver, 12 bronze for a total of 34. Great Britain, 14 gold, 27 silver, 29 bronze for a total of 65. South Korea, 13 gold, 9 silver, 10 bronze for a total of 32. Italy, 12 gold, 17. There's way too many numbers on this page. Let me start Italy again. Italy, 12 gold, 13 silver, 15 bronze for a total of 40. Germany, 12 gold, 13 silver, 8 bronze for a total of 33. Netherlands, 10 gold, 7 silver, 3 bronze, 20 in the total. And Canada, drum roll please, 9 gold, 7 silver, 11 bronze for a total of 27. And just to add, before I close out, You see how important the gold medal is, and that's why I'm sure the U.S. is upset, because the ranking isn't by total. The ranking is by gold. If you notice, there's some people in that ranking, like, for example, France is 5th, but they have 64 medals total, but they're under Japan, whose total is 45. So why isn't France on top? Is because it's actually ranked by gold medals. So the U.S., I'm sure, is very upset that they tied and they didn't actually get first place in gold medals. Anyways, shout out to the Olympic Games. I think this was the most controversial Olympic Games we've had ever, probably, or that I could remember in my time. But it was a great Olympics, a lot of memories. I'm actually really excited for the Olympic Games in 2028 in LA. It's going to be on U.S. turf. That's going to be crazy. So anyways, shout out to the Olympics. All right, that's it for the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Monday, it's always packed with a bunch of stuff that's going on over the weekend. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Before I let you go, just got to remind you all the ways to stay up to date with the Trent Out Loud podcast. If you're used to watching on YouTube or listening on podcast platforms, please try to check me out on CFQR600.com. Weekdays from 11 to 12, we do play the Trent Out Loud podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. It's a great way to listen to the show. You get your entertainment and pop culture news while listening to your favorite 90s and 2000s R&B and hip-hop hits. Trust me, check it out. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to this show on CFQR 600 and you cannot always catch a show between 11 and 12, we understand you're busy, you got things to do. You can always catch every Trent Out Loud episode on YouTube or podcast platforms we upload daily. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And lastly, if you're like me and you like to watch your podcast, if you like to have video, you could try to check us out on Spotify, because Spotify now supports video. And if you ask me, it's a better way of watching podcasts than on YouTube, because if you're on your phone, the video doesn't close and you could stay and do other stuff on your app while it's still going on YouTube. It closes. Shout out to YouTube. We love y'all. But just let you know to check video out on Spotify now. And lastly, you can follow me on all social platforms at Trent Out Loud. And of course, the media company, Exclusivity Media on Instagram. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Be safe. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.